I tried the GoPro and it was being a pain, so I'm gonna make try to get footage like this. I stole a mount off a GoPro, and that's about the only way I know how to do it. I'll try to sit off to one side. I am hauling out wheat straw, so I'll get picture of me loading it, and then I'll get one of unloading it. But I don't know how well my mount's gonna work. I hope it's working. I can't really see. I don't have too much left. I hauled one load earlier. This will be the second one. And that will leave me with 2 full loads and a partial load. So, what I was saying is I had my GoPro, and the battery on it's just terrible. It doesn't hold the charge at all. So, I think, I like the GoPros. They're all right. I don't know if the newer ones have a zoom on them. I don't think they do. But I'm getting ready to get a new phone here in about a month. So the phones make really good videos. It's just that you gotta hold them though. The GoPros, I like them because you can kind of mount them places. The sound isn't the greatest on them, and the zoom is pretty bad on them, but I think there's probably a newer one, but the newer ones have battery packs in them, and that's kind of what I'd like. I think I might get one of those before I got a little video camera, but then again, the video camera might be cheaper than one of those Hero 4s or whatever they are. But what I'm doing is, we already got this hay pre-stacked out here. We brought the skid steer out here and pre-stacked it. That way we can load it with this tractor, because this tractor is a lot faster. This tractor isn't that fast to load with unless it is pre-stacked, and then it's pretty quick to pre-stack or to load a trailer with. The skid steer would run circles around this tractor though. But the reason why we're using this out here is we're hauling in. Oh, I didn't move my. We're hauling this into the feedlot, which is pretty tight since there's an old silage pit in the middle of it, so there's not a lot of room to maneuver. And this tractor does not turn very well. It needs a lot of room. And there. So we're unloading with the skid steer. Load with this thing. I was talking to my wife on the phone earlier. That's why I left that strap on the trailer. I was harassing the shit out of her. I haven't seen her like a week. She's back in school doing her samples and all that fun stuff this summer for her master's, and I'm gonna get my head right in the way of you guys because I'm trying to watch that. I was going to pick up some boards for the back of this dovetail. Oh, you dirty bitch, don't you do that to me. And put it across here. Because I don't have problems with other hay that's heavy, but this wheat straw is super light. And so it likes to move around a lot on you. And I was going to put couple boards across the back end of that dovetail, and that way it'll keep the bale from falling, since there's not that much holding it on there. There's less than the regular trailer, because it's on the ramps. And my ramps they don't move that much anymore. They got kind of bent up. The guy who had that trailer before me hauled a big old Caterpillar backhoe everywhere, and so the trailer's kind of worn out. I was looking under it. It needs a new deck. It needs lights. There's no lights on it anymore. The deck's getting pretty bad. Both the ramps are bent. All the side bills on the trailer, the hook straps are bent. So she needs a little love, which is not a bad deal. But when I redeck it, probably redeck it this winter, and then put lights on it at the same time. The suspension needs a little bit of work on it. I was noticing that one of the see, that's what I do not like about loading with the tractor, because if you got it turned, then you'll drag on those bales. Ugh. Straighten myself back out. I think hauling that big backhoe was a little bit much for that trailer. And, you know, it would have been fine if it was probably all highway miles. It would have been perfectly fine, but when you're hauling, 50, 60 miles on dirt roads, then things get worn out pretty bad. So, it needs a little bit of work. I'm doing. This tractor does a good job on it. Last year, I didn't have a set of hay spikes. I got the bucket with the grapple on it, and that's what I used. And I finally went and bought or ordered a set of hay spikes built. I was going to build my own, but the little quick attach units, it was going to cost about the same just to buy those things and then build my own unit than it was to just buy the set of hay spikes with those already on it. I really didn't want to buy hay spikes for it, but I was unloading a bunch of oat bales last year, and they were, real dense, real heavy bales. And I went and I grabbed them, and one of the bolts on the grapple snapped, and it shot from up there, and it broke out this windshield. Broke out one of the bottom windshields. Came in the cab with me. So I had to replace that windshield. $500 probably. I think that's what it was by the time you got the windshield and got a few other things. But yeah, it sucks breaking windshields, but the scarier part is the damn bolt. Shot like a bullet through the cab. And then I broke another one, and that's when I finally decided I really ought to just spend the money on the hay spikes. And I didn't have the money to buy the hay spikes when I bought them, but I also didn't have money to keep replacing windshields. I only broke one windshield, but the second time a bolt broke, it shot forward, and thankfully it didn't come back towards the tractor. But I can't afford another windshield, and I sure couldn't afford a bolt coming through and hitting me or hitting somebody else. The somebody else is the more important thing, because if I had somebody helping me and it went through a cab and hit them, that would not be good. I can't, and I don't have insurance. I guess I do have on my wrench insurance. There is somebody were to get hurt, you know, they would pay for the medical expense, which is nice, but with the luck I've had from my insurance company, I'm not too sure that they'd actually do that, you know. I'm gonna try to get this going, because they're pretty ridiculous. I mean, I've not had good luck with them, but I'm gonna throw this strap on this back bale and then meet you at the feedlot. All right, we're getting ready to enter the feedlot through the back side of the alleyway, and what you're gonna see is the way I stacked this. I kind of stacked it long ways on a few spots, but this stack right here, I put a double stack, and I did it like that not to preserve the shape of the bales, but for strength against the wind. And what it does is it protects those pins right there from being buried in snow. And that stack goes a long ways along the fence towards to the main pins. And then we have this stack up here. I'm getting ready to finish that one along the fence. There's some old hay there, and then there's some broken bales. And then we have this stack here. Now I'm pointing directly north right now. And I stacked that one like that because all of our snow comes out of the north, and it's a blowing snow. It's a real nasty snow. And so this stuff really serves two purposes for me. One, it allows me to bed my pins when it's cold, or it's snowing, or, you know, just muddy as heck. And two, it makes a hell of a snow fence. So this is west, and what I'll do is, you know, a lot of our snow will come that direction or straight out of the north, and then I'll start at this corner and then take it along that way. And then I've got the north side pretty much finished. And so what that does is, you know, if I get a snow out of the northwest or the straight north, I'll get these huge drifts on these snow fences, and not in my feed pins. Now, I still get some, it's really hard to do one time, I still get snow in my feed bunks, and I don't have a bunk sweep yet or a blower, so it's all the old-fashioned way of cleaning them out with a shovel, which I just hate. I really don't like to do that, but you have to do it. It's a pain if you don't. So yeah, and I may try to figure out a way to keep that from happening, but I don't think I can. We've had really good luck in our pastures with our windbreaks, because the snow will break on the windbreak, and then it won't keep going. It'll be clear for like a mile afterwards. How do I want to do this? Okay, I'm gonna have to stick you right up here. So just stay with me. No, I'm not gonna make you watch me. There we go. I'm thinking with your noggin. Yeah, alright. I'd put you behind me like I did in the other tractor, but I don't think it would work in here. It's pretty tight fitting here. I guess I could put you over on. We'll see how this works. I may move it. I may move it to the side. But Yeah, so what will happen is I'll get this snow blown in here about, 40, 50 miles an hour. Sometimes we've had it up to 70, which is not fun. And yeah, that's why I need my boards. You got to be real gentle with these wheat straw bales, because I didn't put a lot of wraps on them, but they'll, guys, they hit anything, they just break and just blows straw everywhere. Real pain in the ass. But I'm trying to get this where, I can stop as much snow as I can, because in this country, if you got a good long snowstorm, it'll bury a set of pins and it'll kill all the cattle with them. But I've had pretty good luck with the blowing snows that we have had, and this will stop a lot of snow, and it does a pretty good job of it. Pretty much the only problems I have now are the snow and the feed bunks, which I really don't have a solution to that yet. I've got no idea how to stop. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that stopped, because this will stop most of the snow, but then you'll still have snow in the air that will go above this, and then it'll catch on the next dead spot of air that there is. And so I think I'm just doomed until I get a bunk sweep or a blower. But yeah, just upgrade as much as you can. See this? I love this skid steer. This thing is definitely worth what we paid, or paying for it. It's damn sure not paid for. We just got it. This will be probably the second full year we've had it. I mean, just hellacious machine. And I'm a big Bobcat fan. I really like Bobcats, because we've had 2 of them. We still have one. Really, Bobcat makes a hell of a machine. Really, really good machine. They are stout, and you can get into more than you really need to with them. But I'm quite impressed with Caterpillar. I've run their backhoes and stuff, and I figured they'd make a heck of a skid steer, and they really do make a good skid steer. We've had a few issues with it, but it's kind of, it goes, the more electronics you put in a piece of equipment, the more issues you're going to have. The wiring harness that goes up to this joystick that you controls your direction with had I don't know, like a mouse got into it or something, or it had some kinks in it, and they broke, and so we had an alarm going off, and it would kind of short out, and this thing would get a little glitchy. But we got that fixed. And the air conditioning, there was a recall on that, which this thing with air conditioning and a heater is the awesomest thing ever, because our other skid steer, open cab, and that just, it's tough. We didn't know any better, because you just got used to eating dirt all day. But man, you put a cab on one of these things with some AC and some heat. The heater's awesome in the wintertime, man, especially when because I use this to bed all the pins down, to move my bales back and forth, and you got blowing snow and 2-degree weather. This thing kicks ass. I feel sorry, because usually somebody will want to help me. Either my wife will help me or my dad. My dad just insists that he helps me, which is nice, but I hate when somebody's out, like cutting the net off or opening gates, and I'm in this thing, and it's nice and toasty and warm, and I'm having to take layers of clothes off because it's just too warm in here. and they're out there just struggling to walk through the snow, you kind of feel bad for them, but you know. Hey, when my wife moves home, I'll show her. She knows how to, she can run it, she can drive it back and forth, but show her how to actually use it pretty effectively, and then I'll be the one who suffers through the snow, which is just fine with me. But yeah, it makes it nice. Definitely spoiled us. And it's hard to justify spending the money on them, but in my opinion, if you have a ranch or a farm or a feedlot, or you're doing any kind of agriculture at all, or timber, a skid steer is one of the most valuable tools that there are. I mean, they're insanely useful, and you'll get some people who just fight tooth and nail saying that they're not worth that. Well, they get so much done. It's amazing what you can do with them. There's and especially if you're a young guy and you're on a ranch or something, you can get a pretty good deal on a skid steer if you look long enough and you're willing to go get it. It may not have the enclosed cab and all the amenities, but shit, we didn't have one until just a year or two ago, and we kept this is how much we love our skid steers. I've got 2 loader tractors, and we got two skid steers. When we bought this one, we could have traded it off. We could have traded our old 751, I think it's, or 753, I don't remember what it is, for $8,000, $7,500, or we could have sold it ourselves for $9 or $10, and no cab anything, and the bushings and the bucket are wearing out, but we kept the damn thing. And we could have paid. This skid steer would cost $28,000 with 1,200 hours on it, but completely worth it. I mean, it's definitely worth making those payments every year, because this one picks up twice what that other one does, just about, and it's nice having a bigger skid steer, because then, this skid steer will pick up more than our 5510 John Deere. Hands down, any day of the week, it will pick up more weight than that tractor will. So, you can buy a tractor for $20,000, or you can buy, a skid steer. But if you're doing a lot of tight, intricate work, and you're not farming, if you're not farming, then a skid steer is the way to go. That is, or but then again, if you're doing ranching, then there's a lot of ways to look at it, I guess. The one thing I will say, if you're gonna ranch, if you're gonna be in ranching, every successful ranch, big operation I've seen where their cattle sell, they all have their own feed pens, and there's something to be said about the ability to feed your own cattle. If you're getting into ranching, your ranch hasn't been established, or it isn't paid for, if you have the ability to feed your own cattle, then it gives you more options. Not just, if the cattle market crashes and you're not going to be able to make your payments with a 4.5, 5-weight calf, but you can make your payments with an 8-weight calf, then you probably better feed the damn calf. You may not make money, but if you can break even at that weight with your feed, then you better do it. So the feed equipment costs a little bit of money and a little bit of time to do else and be more self-reliant, I think that's where ranching is going to have to go. From everything I've seen, ranching, especially where we are, you're going to have to be very, very flexible, especially with the weather patterns changing. Got the weather patterns, but yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking around, moving hay bales. Finally got a video of it, so I know that this one's gonna be long, 25 minutes long, and I'm trying not to make them that long, but at least you get running commentary throughout the video. It's not just me just running the equipment. You get to hear me ramble on. I used to watch